Happy birthday, love, Leela squealed, handing me a glass of sparkling punch. Come on, make a wish before everyone digs into that cake. I laughed nervously, glancing around the crowded living room. Where's Ethan? He promised he'd be here early. He's probably outside, she said quickly, avoiding my eyes. Don't stress. I brushed off the unease and clapped my hands. All right, everyone, thank you for coming. Wait, Ethan's voice cut through the noise. He stepped forward, his hand wrapped around Claire's. My heart skipped. Ethan? What? He raised a hand. I need to say something before this goes any further. Leela frowned. Can it wait until after the candles? No, he said, flatly. His eyes were cold. I can't pretend anymore. Confused whispers filled the room. I forced a smile. Ethan, you're scaring me. What are you doing? He looked right at me. I'm leaving you. Laughter erupted nervously among my friends, but my chest tightened. What? You're joking. I'm not, he said. I'm with Claire now. We didn't want you to find out like this, but here we are. Claire stepped closer, her cheeks flushed but her eyes defiant. It just happened, okay? We didn't plan it. My throat burned. You're telling me this on my birthday? Ethan shrugged. There's never a good time. Leela's voice rose, sharp and furious. You absolute coward. You couldn't wait one day? Ethan ignored her. It's better this way. She deserves to know the truth. I laughed, bitter and hollow. The truth? That my best friend has been sleeping with my boyfriend behind my back. That's your truth? Claire snapped. Don't make it sound dirty. We love each other. Love, I whispered, my hands trembling. You loved me yesterday. Ethan's jaw tightened. No, I cared about you. But with Claire, it's different. Someone muttered, what a jerk, from the corner. But the room was spinning. Leela moved to steady me. You don't need to listen to this. Let's go. I shook my head. No, I want to hear him. I want to hear every word. Ethan sighed, exasperated. Look, I didn't mean for it to happen like this, but I can't lie anymore. I'm done. Claire squeezed his hand like some prize she'd won. We didn't want to hurt you. I forced a broken laugh. Oh, congratulations then. You failed spectacularly. The cake sat untouched behind me, candles still unlit. My party guests shuffled awkwardly, whispering. Leela shouted, show's over, everyone. Party's done. People began leaving quickly, muttering apologies and awkward goodbyes. I turned to Ethan one last time. You could have at least let me blow out my candles before destroying me. His face stayed cold. I'm sorry. No, I said, my voice cracking. You're not, but one day you will be. I grabbed my dress with shaky hands and rushed upstairs, leaving the noise, the whispers, the betrayal behind. Leela followed, banging on my locked door. Please, talk to me. Don't shut me out. I sat on the floor, clutching the sequins of my ruined birthday dress. I can't, I whispered, though she couldn't hear me. Tears soaked my face, but beneath them, something sharper grew. Anger. I stared at the crumpled party invitation still taped on the wall and whispered to myself, never again. No one will ever break me like this again. The house downstairs fell silent. My chest ached, but my promise echoed louder than the pain. That night, I wasn't just broken, I was remade. Get up, Leela said for the third time that morning, yanking my blanket. You can't rot here forever. I groaned, burying my face into the pillow. Leave me alone. You've been in bed for 2 days. Her voice cracked. I'm worried, okay? I sat up slowly, staring at the untouched mug of tea on my nightstand. I don't feel like moving. Then at least talk, she said, perching on the edge of my bed. Say something, anything. I swallowed hard. Everyone knows. My phone won't stop buzzing. They all pity me. Leela glanced at the buzzing screen. You don't have to read their messages. Delete them. But the pictures, I whispered. My hands trembled as I unlocked my phone and shoved it toward her. They're everywhere. Claire smiling, Ethan kissing her cheek. Do you know how humiliating that is? Her jaw tightened. They're trash. Block them both. I can't, I muttered. If I block them, it feels like I'm running away. No, she said firmly. It means you're protecting yourself. Silence stretched. My reflection in the mirror caught my hair messy, skin pale, eyes swollen. I barely recognized the girl staring back. I pointed at it. That's me now. Broken, pathetic. Don't say that, Leela snapped. You're not pathetic. They are. I laughed bitterly. Then why wasn't I enough? What does she have that I don't? Nothing, she said quickly. She just took what wasn't hers. And he let her. Tears stung my eyes again. I loved him, Leela. I trusted both of them. I know, she whispered, pulling me into a hug. But you can't let them win by destroying yourself. I don't know how to stop hurting, I admitted against her shoulder. Then start small, she suggested. Shower, eat, scream into a pillow if you have to. Just don't give up. I pulled away, wiping my cheeks. It feels like drowning. Every breath hurts. Then fight, she said softly. Kick until you reach the surface. Her words lingered as I stood and walked slowly to the bathroom. Staring at myself under the harsh light, I whispered, fight. After the shower, I joined her in the kitchen. She grinned when she saw me. There she is. Don't get used to it, I said, managing a weak smile. That's fine. Baby steps. She slid a plate of toast toward me. Eat. I chewed mechanically, every bite heavy. What if I never feel normal again? You will, she said, but not by waiting, by choosing. Her words hit me like a spark. I set the toast down, staring at my hands. So I have a choice. Drown in this or rise from it. Exactly. I took a shaky breath. Then maybe it's time I stop crying. Maybe it's time I get angry instead. Leela smirked, relief flickering in her eyes. Now that's the cousin I know. I nodded slowly. He broke me on my birthday. Fine, but I won't stay broken. Not for him, not for her. For the first time since that night, the weight on my chest shifted. The pain was still there, but beneath it, something sharper stirred anger, and anger felt a lot stronger than despair. Morning, Leela said as I pulled on my jacket. First day back at work since you know. You sure you're ready? I tied my hair into a messy bun. Ready? No, but I can't stay in this apartment forever. She squeezed my arm. Then survive the day. That's enough. The office felt louder than usual. Phones rang, printers hummed, and footsteps echoed. I walked to my desk, praying no one would mention Ethan or Claire. Good to see you back, Mr. Harris said, appearing near my chair. His sharp suit made him look even more intimidating. Thanks, I muttered, fumbling with my bag. You've had a rough week, he said gently, though his tone stayed professional. Take it one task at a time. Don't rush. I will, I promised. He gave a curt nod and left, sparing me the questions I feared. Relief washed over me, he noticed, but he didn't pry. I was sorting files when a voice beside me said, you must be the cousin Leela keeps talking about. I turned. A tall guy with an easy smile stood there, holding two coffees. You know, Leela? I asked cautiously. He chuckled. We're neighbors. Daniel. He offered one of the cups. She said you like caramel lattes. I blinked. She's been talking about me? Mostly worrying about you, he admitted. But don't hold that against her. She cares. I hesitated, then took the coffee. Thanks. I needed this more than I thought. No problem. First weeks back are always the hardest. I figured. Caffeine helps. Something in his voice was disarming casual, not pitying. For the first time in days, I smiled without forcing it. So, Daniel, what exactly do you do here? Technically, marketing analysis. Realistically, I stare at spreadsheets and question my life choices. I laughed, a sound I hadn't heard from myself in weeks. That bad? Only if you take it too seriously. He grinned. What about you? Admin and project tracking. Basically, I nag people to meet deadlines. Perfect. Then we're doomed to bump into each other a lot. I tilted my head. That a threat or a promise? A little of both, he teased, walking back to his desk. As the day dragged on, I caught myself glancing at him, and every time he flashed that same warm smile, it felt like a reminder the world hadn't ended, even if mine had. That night, back at the apartment, I sat at my desk with a notebook open. Leela peeked in. You're writing? Letters, I said quietly, to Ethan, but not to send. She frowned. Why? Because I need to get it out of me. If I keep it inside, it'll eat me alive. She hesitated, then nodded. Fair enough. Just don't let those pages trap you. Let them free you. When she left, I pressed my pen down hard on the paper. Ethan, I wrote. I don't know if you're sleeping well. I hope you are. Because I'm not. I hope every kiss tastes like guilt. Because mine tastes like ashes. My hand trembled, but I kept going. You ruined my birthday. You ruined my trust. But you don't get to ruin me forever. I dropped the pen, staring at the words. My chest ached, but strangely, I felt lighter. Daniel's smile flashed in my memory. Leela's encouragement echoed in my ears. Maybe the world still moved. Maybe I could, too. The envelope shimmered gold against the pile of dull mail. I tore it open, expecting a wedding catalog or some flashy advertisement. Instead, I froze. You've got to be kidding me. Leela looked up from the couch. What? I held the card out. Claire and Ethan cordially invite me to celebrate their engagement. Her jaw dropped. She sent you that? She's insane. I laughed bitterly. Insane or cruel, both fit. Rip it up, she demanded. We'll burn it, dance around the ashes. But my hands didn't move. My eyes lingered on the embossed letters. Claire and Ethan, together. You're not actually considering it, Leela said carefully. I sat down, still staring at the card. Part of me wants to walk in there. Let them see me. Let them choke on the fact I survived. Or, she countered, they'll just try to hurt you again. Don't give them that chance. Leela, I whispered. They already hurt me as much as they could. What's left? She frowned. Your dignity. Protect it. I smiled faintly. Or reclaim it. That night, I stood in front of the mirror. Dress after dress piled on the bed. Sequins, silk, lace, none felt right until I slipped into a sleek black one. Strong lines, sharp edges. It hugged me like armor. Leela leaned against the doorframe. Arms crossed. You look like a goddess about to destroy kingdoms. Good, I muttered. That's exactly how I want them to see me. Why not just ignore them? That would hurt more. I shook my head. No, they need to know I'm not hiding. They need to see I'm still standing. She sighed. Then at least let me come with you. I hesitated, then smiled. I won't say no to back up. The next few days I practiced in the mirror. Not my walk, not my posture, but my smile. I leaned close to the glass, whispering, you can't touch me anymore. Each time the smile grew steadier, sharper. Daniel noticed at work. You seem different, he said one afternoon. I raised an eyebrow. Different good or different bad? Different strong, he replied. Like you're bracing for something. I shrugged. Maybe I am. Want to talk about it? Not yet. I managed a smirk, but I might need a +1 to an event. His eyes lit with curiosity. Event? I didn't answer. I wasn't ready to reveal it, not yet. That evening, back at home, Leela waved the invitation again. Last chance to back out. I took it from her, slid it into my clutch. No backing out. Not this time. She groaned. I don't know if you're brave or reckless. Maybe both, I admitted. The night before the party, I sat at my desk and opened my journal. Dear Ethan, I wrote, tomorrow you'll see me. But you won't see the girl you left. You'll see the woman who refused to die when you killed her heart. I shut the book and exhaled. My stomach twisted with dread, but beneath it was fire. This wasn't about forgiveness. It wasn't even about them. It was about me walking into their world not as a victim, but as the storm they never expected. The valet opened the car door, and I stepped onto the red carpet, heels clicking against the marble. Breathe, Daniel whispered, offering his arm. I linked mine with his. Easy for you to say, he smirked. I've survived family drama. This should be fun by comparison. As we entered the grand hall, whispers slithered around me. Is that her? She came? I straightened my shoulders, pretending not to notice. Claire spotted me from across the room. Her fake smile wavered, eyes narrowing. She leaned into Ethan, who froze mid-toast, glass suspended in the air. I grinned. Look at them. I muttered to Daniel. Frozen. Perfect. Daniel chuckled. You look unstoppable. I rolled my eyes. I just hope I don't trip. Claire sauntered toward us, voice syrupy. I didn't expect you here. How brave. I tilted my head, letting my smile drip with sugar-coated venom. Don't worry. I won't steal your spotlight. Her lips thinned. Good. That's considerate of you. Ethan finally lowered his glass, stepping forward. Spare me the apology, I interrupted, my voice calm but sharp. I don't need it, and I certainly don't need you to explain yourselves. His eyes flickered, regret or maybe fear. I wasn't sure which. Daniel gave my hand a reassuring squeeze. Want me to drag him away? I smirked. Not yet. Let's savor this moment. Claire's fake cheerfulness faltered again. So how have you been? Oh, you know, I replied sweetly, picking up the pieces, rising from ashes, plotting world domination. Ethan coughed. That's impressive. I arched an eyebrow. I thought so. But don't worry, I only plot against those who deserve it. Her smile tightened. You always were dramatic. I laughed softly, letting it echo just enough to sting. And you always were predictable. But look at us now, switching roles. Daniel leaned closer. You're really enjoying this, aren't you? Absolutely, I whispered. For once, I feel the power. They can't touch me. Claire glanced around nervously. I should check on the champagne. I watched her retreat, heels echoing like retreating war drums. Ethan opened his mouth again, tentative. I cut him off, holding up a hand. No, Ethan, you already said everything that mattered. I don't want your explanations. I don't want your excuses. He swallowed hard. I didn't know how to, you didn't know how to be decent. I finished for him, smiling faintly. Lesson learned, Daniel murmured. Want me to get us drinks before they realize we're not leaving? I shook my head. Let's stay. Let them stew. A few guests whispered as we passed. She looks amazing, so poised. I straightened even more, letting my chest swell with satisfaction. Yes, I whispered. This is exactly what I wanted. Later, as the band played soft jazz, I caught Ethan staring at me from across the room, his jaw tight, eyes wide. I raised my glass in a silent toast. Daniel leaned in. You know, they didn't think you'd make it this far. I smiled, a mix of triumph and relief. They thought wrong, and it feels delicious. Claire finally disappeared into a crowd, murmuring excuses. Ethan lingered, awkward, out of place. I took a slow sip of my drink, letting the bubbles sting my tongue. This isn't about revenge, I whispered to Daniel. It's about being alive and untouchable. He nodded, a protective smile on his face. You've got this. I looked around the room, lights glittering off crystal chandeliers. Whispers faded beneath my heartbeat. For the first time in months, I felt in control. Finally, I realized it. Didn't matter what they said or did. I had walked in, I had stood tall, and I had won, even if no one else noticed. I did. I lingered near the balcony, pretending to admire the city lights. But my ears caught them, voices sharp and tense, slicing through the jazz music inside. I can't keep pretending, Claire. Ethan's voice was tight, brittle. Claire's response was desperate. Ethan, please, just one more time. Don't ruin this. We can fix it. I frowned, stepping closer, careful to remain unseen. Fix it? You lied from the start. How is this fixable? He snapped. I didn't lie. Claire's voice wavered, high-pitched and fragile. I love you. You know I do. I don't know anything anymore. Ethan's words cut through the glass doors. I don't even know who you are. I pressed my hand over my mouth to stifle a laugh. The perfect image they tried to project, crumbling. Claire's voice quivered. You're going to leave me? I don't know if I can stay, Claire. Everything's falling apart. Why did I ever think this would work? I leaned against the railing, a small smile tugging at my lips. Karma wasn't a fairy tale, it was real. They'd built their tower of lies, and now it was teetering. Ethan's voice softened, but still tense. I didn't want this. I thought I was making the right choice, but now everything's upside down. Claire sobbed. Please don't hate me. I didn't mean to hurt her, I mean us. I froze, barely breathing. Us, she said. Their mess was spilling into real chaos. Ethan muttered. You keep saying that, but we both knew the risks. We ignored them. Now look. Claire whimpered. I can't lose you, Ethan. I can't do this without you. He ran a hand through his hair. Maybe that's the problem. You never thought about anyone but yourself. I can't fix it anymore. My chest swelled with quiet triumph. I didn't need to speak, didn't need to confront them. Their own choices were unraveling, revealing the cracks I'd always suspected. Claire gasped. So you're leaving me? After everything? I don't know if I have a choice, Ethan admitted. I thought I did, but I can't lie to myself anymore. Not like this. I took a slow step back, pressing my back to the wall. My dress shimmered in the moonlight, but I barely noticed. I only noticed the taste of satisfaction, sweet and sharp. Daniel, standing a few steps behind me, whispered, You okay? I nodded, lips curved in a quiet, victorious smile. Better than okay. They're finally getting a glimpse of reality. He raised an eyebrow. That's satisfying. I laughed softly, the sound light, unburdened. Satisfying doesn't even begin to cover it. The city lights reflected off the balcony, twinkling like tiny fireworks. And for the first time, I realized I didn't need to plan revenge, orchestrate payback, or wait for them to stumble. Life had a way of balancing itself. I turned to Daniel. Let's go back inside before anyone sees me, but keep your ears open. There's more to hear. He chuckled. You're enjoying this a little too much. Maybe, I admitted, smirking. But karma doesn't need my help. It's already at work. We stepped back into the party, leaving their arguments behind, but I carried the knowledge that their perfect image had finally cracked. Another wine tasting? You really love these, don't you? Daniel teased as we walked into the small event space. I laughed, brushing back a stray strand of hair. I'm learning to enjoy things I didn't have time for before. The new you, he said, handing me a glass. Confident, independent, unstoppable. I smirked. Stop inflating my ego. I might start believing it. You should, he replied, grin wide. You've earned it. I glanced around at my colleagues and a few close friends mingling nearby. Remember when I used to shrink at parties like this? Daniel tilted his head. I do. And now, I said, swirling my wine. I actually look forward to it. Good, he said, nudging me gently. Because people notice. You're magnetic these days. I chuckled, a soft sound that surprised even me. Magnetic, huh? I'll take it. Later, I set up my small gathering, ranging snacks and lights. A co-worker, Maria, stepped up. Wow, this is really nice. You did all this yourself? I shrugged lightly. I wanted it intimate, cozy, not overwhelming. She smiled. Well, it's perfect. You've really changed, you know? I laughed, softly. Changed, huh? I guess I'm finally learning to put myself first. Daniel appeared beside me with two plates. And you've learned to surround yourself with people who matter. That's key. I'm learning, I admitted. It's new and scary sometimes. Scary is good, he said, eyes warm. Means you're growing. We moved to the couch, glasses in hand. I watched my friends laughing, talking, enjoying each other's company. The sound felt different now, full, alive. You know, Daniel whispered, you used to hide your laughter. Now it's contagious. I looked at him, mock annoyance in my eyes. I wasn't hiding it. I was careful. Careful? He repeated. You were shutting down. And look at you now, full glow mode. I rolled my eyes but smiled. Full glow mode, huh? I like the sound of that. Daniel leaned closer. Honestly, seeing you like this, it's inspiring. I laughed again, more freely this time. Careful, or I'll start expecting speeches at every gathering. He smirked. Maybe I will. You deserve to hear it. A friend approached, holding a notebook. Hey, you've really grown. Mind if I jot down some notes? You inspire confidence in all of us. I shook my head, laughing softly. Sure, but only if you promise not to overdo it. Later, I slipped into the kitchen, and Daniel followed. How's it feel? He asked softly, to finally be yourself again. I leaned against the counter. It feels right, like I'm no longer surviving. I'm living, and laughing, and maybe shining a little. You're more than shining, he said gently. You're unstoppable, and you didn't even realize it yet. I took a slow sip of wine, eyes scanning the room. Friends chatting, music playing softly, lights twinkling. I think I finally understand, I said quietly. The girl Ethan broke? She's gone. She's not coming back. And the woman I'm becoming, she's brighter, stronger, and unapologetically me. Daniel nodded, eyes warm. I think everyone can feel it. You're not just back, you've leveled up. I smiled, letting the warmth fill me. Then maybe it's time I stop worrying about the past and just live in the glow I've built. He nudged me gently. Glow mode, remember? Keep it shining. I laughed again, full, true, and unstoppable. Glow mode it is. And for the first time in months, I felt it, light, laughter, and a confidence that didn't need anyone's approval. My phone buzzed late at night. I groaned, expecting another work notification, but the name flashing across the screen made me freeze. Claire. I tapped the message cautiously. Please, can we meet? I regret everything. I stared at it. My thumb hovered over the keyboard. My heart didn't race. My hands didn't shake. I whispered to myself, not this time. Not ever again. Leela stirred on the couch behind me. Who's that? Claire, I said, voice calm. She wants to meet. Leela's eyebrows shot up. Seriously? After everything? Are you insane? I'm not insane, I said, tossing the phone on the table. I'm not replying. You know she's probably desperate, Leela said. They're in trouble, Ethan too. This could be interesting. I shook my head. Not my problem anymore. I survived them. My silence is better than any answer I could give. The next morning, rumors had already spread through the office grapevine. Did you hear? Ethan and Claire's engagement might be off, one colleague whispered. I sipped my coffee, pretending not to care. Really? I asked lightly, raising an eyebrow. They say she's been calling him nonstop. He's ignoring her. Another added. I smiled faintly. Sounds about right. Daniel appeared beside me, frowning. You're enjoying this a little too much. I'm enjoying the peace, I replied. For once, their chaos isn't my problem. My silence is perfect. Revenge, he chuckled. Perfect revenge? Yes, I said, tapping the rim of my cup. Every time she texts, every time rumors fly, every time she thinks she can pull me back in nothing. I don't answer. I don't react. I just exist. Strong, untouched, unbothered. Smart, he admitted. And satisfying, I imagine. I leaned back in my chair. The best part? They're crumbling on their own. Karma doesn't need me to orchestrate it. It's already at work. Daniel nodded, impressed. I like this version of you. Calm, in control, enjoying the unfolding. Storm without stepping in. I smirked. Exactly. I don't need to fix anything anymore. Let them twist themselves into knots. That afternoon, Claire's messages kept coming. Please, I can explain I was wrong, can we talk? I left my phone on the desk. Ignored. Leela peeked over. Still not replying? Nope, I said. Silence is sweeter than any words I could write. Let her regret it all. By evening, whispers had turned into full-blown speculation at the office. People asked me if I knew anything. I smiled, sipped my tea. Oh, I heard, but I'm not involved. Not anymore. Daniel leaned close, whispering, You look incredible when you're untouchable. I laughed softly, the sound calm and confident. Untouchable is exactly how I feel. Let them unravel themselves. I won't lift a finger. And that is my revenge. For once, I felt free, lighter. Their drama, their lies, their regrets, it wasn't mine to carry. And that was enough. The doorbell rang, and I felt a thrill run through me. First guest, I murmured, smoothing my dress one last time. Leela peeked from the hallway. And you look stunning. Absolutely glowing. I smiled, adjusting my hair. Thanks. Tonight isn't about looks, it's about feeling alive. The first group of friends arrived, laughing, coats in hand. Happy birthday, they chorused, pulling me into quick hugs. Thank you, I said, voice bright. Come in. Make yourselves at home. Drinks are by the counter. Daniel appeared moments later, holding a small bouquet. For the birthday queen, he said with a grin. I laughed, taking the flowers. For the man who keeps reminding me how unstoppable I am. He shrugged, playful, just stating facts. As the night progressed, the living room buzzed with chatter, clinking glasses, and laughter that felt warm and unforced. I moved among my guests, refilling drinks and sharing stories. The old weight of sadness nowhere in sight. Remember when you told us about Claire and Ethan? Maria whispered, leaning close. I laughed softly. How could I forget? That nightmare. Feels like a lifetime ago. You're amazing, she said, eyes shining. You didn't just survive, you thrived. I shrugged. It wasn't easy, but I had to choose myself. That was the real gift. Daniel found me across the room, lifting his glass. To the strongest woman I know. My chest ached with joy, and I blinked back tears. Thank you, I whispered. It means more than you'll ever know. He smirked. Meaning what? You're finally unstoppable? Or just ridiculously charming? I rolled my eyes but laughed. Both, probably. A friend, Peter, nudged me. Your playlist is incredible. Everyone's dancing. I glanced at the small crowd on the makeshift dance floor. I wanted tonight to be fun. No reminders of the past, just us. Right here, right now. Daniel offered his hand. Dance with me? I hesitated, then smiled. Why not? He led me to the center of the room, laughter ringing around us. See? He said. Life's good. I leaned in too. The rhythm. The music carrying away months of pain. It feels amazing. I haven't felt this free in ages. He winked. Good. Because this freedom, you earned it. Later, as the night wound down, Leela clinked her glass against mine. To you, she said softly. To surviving, thriving, and glowing. I returned the toast. To choosing myself, and to laughter that isn't forced. Daniel leaned close, murmuring, You've come a long way. From that night Ethan left you to this, you're incredible. I smiled, feeling my heart swell. It wasn't easy, but standing here, with everyone who matters, I realize I survived. And that's worth celebrating more than anything. Someone cheered for a birthday cake, and I let myself be carried into the moment. Candles flickered, friends sang, and I closed my eyes briefly, letting the joy sink in. Later, Standing by the balcony, Daniel slid his hand into mine. "You did this," he said. "Not me, not them, just you." I nodded, squeezing his hand. I wanted tonight to mark the end of my old life. No pain, no betrayal, just me, and the people I care about. He smiled. "And the people who care about you too." I breathed in, feeling the crisp night air mingle with the warmth inside. The girl Ethan broke was gone. The woman I'd become was here, shining brighter than ever, and tonight, I celebrated her. The knock at my door startled me. I wasn't expecting anyone, and it was late. I opened it to find Ethan standing there, slouched, eyes hollow. His hair was messy, and his face looked exhausted, drained. "Can we talk?" His voice cracked, softer than I remembered. I crossed my arms. "You're Ethan." He swallowed, nodding. "Yes." Claire left me. I blinked, suppressing a bitter laugh. "Really? After everything you did, you're telling me this?" His shoulders slumped further. "I know I hurt you. I didn't realize how much until now." "You didn't realize?" I echoed, voice cold. "Do you even remember my birthday?" He winced. "Of course I remember." And I cut him off. "No, stop. Don't explain. Don't apologize. You had your chance, Ethan. You walked away, and now stay gone." He stepped forward, desperation in his eyes. "Please, just hear me out. I can explain. I can make it right." I shook my head firm. "Make it right? You can't. You can't undo what you did. You humiliated me in front of everyone I cared about. You crushed me. I was stupid. I know. You were selfish and cruel. And I don't need your reasons. I don't want your apologies." He ran a hand through his hair, frustration flickering across his face. "I made a mistake, okay? I lost the best thing I ever had. And I can't fix it, but I can at least tell you I'm sorry." I stepped closer, voice icy. "Sorry doesn't cut it anymore. Not for me. Not ever." He looked at me, desperate, almost pleading. I want to see you, to talk. Do you want to see me?" I repeated, my hands steady at my sides. "Do you know what I want, Ethan? I want you gone. Out of my life. Out of my head. Out of my heart." His lips trembled. "I didn't think I thought you'd thought I'd forgive you? Thought I'd wait?" I laughed, sharp, cutting. "I don't wait for people who break me. I don't forgive people who walk away. And I certainly don't let them back in." His shoulders slumped, his energy spent. "So that's it? You're done?" I nodded. "Yes, I'm done. You had your chance. You chose her. Now I choose myself." He swallowed, his eyes dark with regret. I never meant to hurt you." "I know," I said softly, almost pitying him. "But meaning doesn't matter. Actions do. And your actions already spoke, loud and clear." He took a small step back, defeated. "I'll go." "Good." I shut the door in his face, my hands steady, my chest calm. For a moment, I leaned against the door, breathing in slowly. The weight I didn't realize I'd been carrying, the anger, the heartbreak, the longing, it all started to lift. Leela appeared from the hallway. "That was intense." I smiled faintly. "Intense, yes, but necessary." She grinned. "You're incredible. Cold, but incredible." I laughed softly, the sound lighter than I expected. "I'm free now. That chapter is over." Daniel appeared beside me, resting a hand on my shoulder. "You handled that perfectly." I nodded, feeling a surge of pride. I did. No hesitation, no tears, no second chances. Just me standing. He squeezed my shoulder gently. "And that's the woman I've always known you could be." I took a deep breath, letting the calm wash over me. The boy who ruined my birthday, crushed my heart, begged for a second chance, he was gone. And I was finally, completely untouchable. The music pulsed through the house as guests laughed, danced, and clinked glasses. I leaned on the balcony, glass in hand, feeling a lightness I hadn't felt in years. Leela appeared beside me, grinning. "You really outdid yourself this time." I smiled, watching the crowd below. "It's not just the party, it's me. I finally get to celebrate without shadows." A knock on the gate made me glance down. My stomach twisted, a mix of amusement and disbelief. "Ethan?" He stood there, looking small, almost like a ghost. His suit was wrinkled, his hair messy, and his eyes wide, desperate. Leela appeared behind him at the gate. "Can I help you?" I need to come in," he said, voice shaking. "Please, I miss her. I made a huge mistake. I just want to see her." I raised an eyebrow from the balcony, letting my smile curl faintly. "Oh, he wants to come in," I whispered to Daniel, who was behind me. Daniel chuckled softly. Looks like someone finally learned what it means to lose. I leaned over the railing, glass raised. He's not invited. I called down. No one's letting you in. Ethan's eyes flickered, pleading. Leela, please. I know I hurt her. I know I walked away. But I can't stay away now. Let me just talk to her. I realize I was wrong. Leela shook her head firmly. I can't. You're not welcome. I laughed, loud and clear, letting the sound drift down like a warning bell. That's right, Ethan. Not welcome. Remember the tears? Remember the betrayal? That was your moment. This is mine. He ran a hand through his hair, panic creeping in. I missed you. I want you back. Please, please. I whispered from the balcony. You walked away when I needed you. You left me crying on my birthday. And now you beg to enter the warmth I've built without you. Daniel nudged me gently. Go ahead. Let him stew a little longer. I did. I raised my glass higher, letting the champagne glint in the light. Here's to me, to laughter, to friends who stayed, to a woman who rose from heartbreak and never looked back. Ethan's shoulders slumped. His voice cracked as he whispered, I don't understand. How can she just? I laughed again, soft but sharp. It's called survival, Ethan. It's called moving on. You left me, humiliated me, betrayed me, and now I celebrate without you. I celebrate everything you'll never have. He swayed slightly, staring up at me like a shadow of the boy who once held my heart. Please, just one chance, not a chance, I said firmly, smiling brighter than the chandeliers behind me. You had your chance. You wasted it. This is my life now, my joy, my parties, my victories. And you can only watch. He sank to the gate, defeated, hands gripping the iron bars. I raised my glass one last time. To freedom, Ethan. To happiness. To a life untouched by your mistakes. I sipped, letting the warmth slide down my throat. Daniel stood beside me, eyes shining. You've never looked stronger. I leaned back, the city lights sparkling around us, laughter rising from below. Strength isn't just surviving, Daniel, I said softly. It's enjoying the view from the top while they beg at the gate. He laughed, and I joined him. The music, the lights, the warmth of friends, it all felt complete. And Ethan? He was exactly where he belonged, outside. The cafe was quiet when I arrived, a soft hum of conversation in the background. I spotted him immediately. Ethan, sitting at a corner table, hands clasped tightly, shoulders hunched. Hey, he said, voice low, hesitant. I pulled out a chair, sitting across from him. Hello, I replied softly. He avoided my gaze, staring at the table. Thanks for agreeing to meet me. I shrugged lightly. I didn't come here for you. I came to finish this for me. His jaw tightened. I know I don't deserve it, but I wanted a chance to say I'm sorry. And maybe I don't know, ask for another chance. I blinked, keeping my expression neutral. Another chance? Ethan, do you hear yourself? I know I hurt you. I left you humiliated, heartbroken. I was stupid. Stop, I said firmly, raising my hand. I don't need to hear your excuses. You made your choices. You walked away. And now, you're just a lesson I had to learn. He flinched, slightly, eyes flicking up at me. A lesson? Yes, I said softly. A lesson in trust, in strength, in knowing I am worth more than someone who leaves me on my birthday crying. You are just that, a lesson. He swallowed, voice barely above a whisper. And you don't hate me? I shook my head, staring out the window for a moment. No, hate is too heavy. I don't feel anything toward you anymore, only emptiness. And relief. Relief that I'm free. He leaned back, his pride gone, shoulders slumping. I never realized how much I had until it was gone. And now I see it. I see you. I met his gaze briefly, my own calm, steady. Then see it as it is. I survived. I thrived. I laughed. I grew stronger. And you're just a memory, a lesson, a part of my past I no longer carry. His eyes filled slightly with tears. I wish things could have been different. I know, I said, gently, but wishing won't change anything. And it shouldn't. Life moves forward. And so do I. He nodded slowly, voice soft. I'm sorry, truly, for everything. I gave a faint, almost pitying smile. I know, and I forgive, not for you, but for me, to release the last of this burden. But don't expect me to return. Don't expect anything. He stood, hands in his pockets, shoulders heavy. I understand. I watched him pause, glance back once, eyes filled with regret, then finally turn and walk away. Each step was slower than the last, but I didn't look back. I exhaled slowly, the tension I didn't realize I'd been holding slipping from my shoulders. The calf felt lighter, brighter. Daniel appeared beside me, placing a hand over mine. Are you okay? I nodded, a small, genuine smile forming. Better than okay. I feel lighter, free, like a chapter finally closed. He squeezed my hand gently. You've earned this peace. I glanced out the window at the empty street where Ethan disappeared from sight. I did. I whispered, and it's mine. To keep. I took a deep breath, letting the calm and strength settle in. No bitterness, no anger, no longing, just clarity, freedom, and the promise of everything yet to come. And for the first time in a long while, I walked away lighter than ever, ready for my life. I stepped onto the balcony, the city lights stretching endlessly before me. The breeze was cool, gentle, carrying laughter from the party below. I raised my glass, savoring the warmth that wasn't tied to anyone but me. Leela appeared beside me, nudging my shoulder. You look radiant, happier than I've ever seen you. I smiled softly. I am. I finally get it. Freedom isn't just being alone. It's choosing who and what deserves your energy. Daniel leaned against the railing. Behind me, a small grin on his face. And who deserves it? I tilted my head, glass sparkling in the light. Me. I deserve it. For surviving, for rising, for laughing again, for living my life without waiting for anyone's approval. He chuckled. And anyone else? I laughed, warm and free. Anyone else? They watch me shine and realize they have no power here. That's enough. That's all the revenge I'll ever need. The world can see me thriving, unbroken, untouchable. Leela nudged me again. Look at everyone down there. Friends, colleagues, people who genuinely care. You built this. Yes, I said softly. Not just a party, a life full of people who lift me, not break me. I finally understand revenge isn't in taking something from someone else. It's in taking back yourself. Daniel rested, his hand lightly on mine. And it suits you. You're glowing literally and figuratively. I laughed, the sound light, unburdened. Glowing because I'm free. Because I don't carry the weight of their mistakes anymore. Ethan? Gone. Claire? Irrelevant. Their choices no longer define me. Leela smiled. And they never will again. No, I agreed, feeling the truth settle in my chest. I am my own definition, my own power, my own joy. I'll live brightly, fiercely, unapologetically. And anyone who tried to dim me will only watch from the shadows. Daniel squeezed my hand gently. So, this is it? The final chapter? I nodded, looking out at the sparkling city. It's not about endings. It's about beginnings. A life where I write the story. I decide the tone. I choose the laughter, the love, the light. No one else controls that anymore. Leela leaned closer, whispering, You've become incredible. Not because you survived, but because you chose to shine anyway. I felt a warmth spread through me, a lightness that hadn't been there before. Exactly. And this is my brightest chapter yet. The one where I finally live for me. The music from inside floated up, mingling with the night air. I raised my glass once more, toasting silently to the girl who had cried, the woman who had risen, and the future that awaited. Here's to living, really living, I whispered. To laughter, love, and light that no one can ever take away. Daniel and Leela mirrored me, glasses clinking softly. I closed my eyes briefly, letting the peace sink in. The past was gone. The heartbreak, the betrayal, they were lessons, nothing more. Opening my eyes, I let the night wrap around me, the city below reflecting the glow inside. I smiled, finally, completely. The best revenge wasn't revenge at all. It was living so brightly, so fully, so freely, that those who tried to break me could never touch my light again. And now I shone brighter than ever.